You could spend 20 minutes on a drawing, post it online, and get a mountain of praise. Or you could spend months or even years working on an indie game, release it, and get ripped apart in the reviews. That's just the nature of the industry. Every frame of an indie game is an expression of these indie developers. Welcome back to another episode of Indie Neighbor, the show where I interview other independent game developers with an emphasis on itch.io. Really like that platform. Today, I'm interviewing Hyun about his game Super Fast Food. He is from across the world. He is currently in Korea. So go ahead and introduce yourself, Hyun.
Thank you, Nathan. I'm Hyun from South Korea. In my day job, I work as a software engineer, and in my spare time, I work on indie games. Currently, the Super Fast Food, which is cooking game where you play by single player cooking game where you can automate lot of your kitchen.
Cool. Yeah, I'm looking at it. I was watching kind of some of the gameplay footage you've got here. It looks like the way it works is you start out, you're a single guy.
Mm-hmm.
You're chopping stuff on a counter. Um, the orders are stacking up. You're trying to race against the clock, and then I think at some point you start to bring in like some robotic elements. You want to automate your
Yeah.
process, like robotic arms and stuff like that. Is that right?
Yeah, that's totally correct. Uh, I'm really inspired by Overcooked and PlateUp,
Cool.
and you can't really play that game as much fun as if you're playing multiplayer. Single player isn't as much fun as multiplayer in that game, so I try to address that problem in my own twist.
Interesting. Yeah, I know. I've probably played one or two cooking games. I know that they're a huge genre, super fun to a lot of people. I know multiplayer is definitely a key to the cooking, but so this is an interesting thing. You want to bring the multiplayer experience to a single player cooking game where you kind of automate your other characters, and it feels multiplayer, but you're still a single player. That's kind of your thought process, correct?
Yeah, so yeah, PlateUp did kind of similar thing, like part automation, but the automating part progression is pretty slow there. So I really try to crank up the automation part here.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so you talk about the other cooking games. You're really inspired by one. Essentially, what was it? One or two other ones that kind of really drew you to this genre? And
Yeah, Overcook and PlateUp.
yeah, how long have you been inspired by those games? When was the first time you broke into this genre?
Ah, I think I played Overcooked first in 2020, and also I'm currently replaying it with my wife with Nintendo Switch.
Oh,
It's
cool.
really fun. My wife really enjoys it more than I do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's interesting. You say that she enjoys it more than you do,
Hmm.
but you took it and you're like, okay, people love these games, so I'm gonna try and make one of them. I'm gonna try to make one of these games myself. So
Hmm.
I take it you enjoy the development side, and then she's your key playtester, so she tells you everything that she likes about it. Um,
Actually, she tells me everything she doesn't likes about it, so
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Letting my friends play is huge, like driving force for me and also my wife. So I think it's not as much fun as Overcooked yet, I guess, but yeah, seeing people play is huge inspiration.
yeah, 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 definitely. That's the greatest feeling with games and stuff like that. Seeing other people have fun with them. I got some questions. Like, so this kitchen setup.
Hmm.
It looks like your character. He looks like he might be a little bit of like an android or something like that. Like he's a robot himself. So what's the backstory of this game? You know, is this restaurant in a sci-fi setting? Are you a robot? Like, have you given any thought to that?
Yeah, the main character here is a robot, and I'm actually working on more contents that where you can upgrade this guy so you can do more cool stuff where if it was a person you couldn't do it. Such I'm think developing something like grappling rocket so you can
Cool.
reach items from far,
Hmm.
things like that. Uh there isn't much lore yet, but yeah, general sci-fi, futuristic cooking thing I guess would work here.
Cool. Cool. Okay, let's dive a little bit, you know, into your background. You where do you live in Korea currently?
Currently, this is above Seoul,
About
Yangju city.
cool.
So, yeah.
And you grew up there, or did you move there?
Uh, I I didn't grow up here. I moved here when I got married last year.
Yeah. Did you grow up nearby there, or
Mm,
how's your
I grew
background?
up I grew up at Seoul. It's really populated there. Uh, and I had to move to Yangju city because of my wife. Workplace is a bit more north there.
Yeah, yeah. So when was the first time you were introduced to video games? Like how young were you?
Like my mom would give me like something like Windows 98 or 99. I don't even remember. And there
Yeah,
was like a bunch of games I don't even know the titles of it.
yeah. And then from there you were hooked. So I'm not so. Tell me about your background. Like you said, you're a software engineer, so you obviously have a really solid computer science foundation. Did you study computer science?
Sort of. I actually majored in vehicle software. Uh,
Interesting.
Korean vehicle industry is huge, so there's also a school of vehicle software in my grad school.
And vehicle software is the onboard computer that kind of is, does it deal with like the user interface between the driver, or is it kind of the software that runs the engine and the air conditioning stuff, like the under the hood software of vehicle, or am I like totally off point with that?
It's kind of like mixing computer science and automotive science, and they're trying to be creative with both sides. So it's yeah, it includes your idea, and it's kind of a bit more broader, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you could actually optimize like an internal combustion engine using computer
Mm-hmm.
science. Yeah, that's really interesting. I could find that fascinating. I'm making a car game currently, so I'm a car guy as well.
Ah,
You know, but
I think I saw that Vauxhall car game of yours. Is that
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like voxels too. Like I think they're a cool tool. But so you're in school, you're studying, you know, software. I imagine it's pretty easy for you to dive into games like this, no problem doing kind of the programming side. Are you doing the art for this as well?
Yeah, the art isn't great, but it's really easy to make for this one. It's 32 by 32 pixels, so I can just drop anything I like. So it's pretty easy to make.
So you're hand drawing those pixels yourself? Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And what was I going to say? Are you inspired by any kind of art style or any artists that you're looking at yet for this? Like, do you pull up some reference images and go, "I want to do make a game look like that"?
No, for this prototype for now, I really constrained myself. Oh, make it super simple, make it super easy. So I didn't reference much, but the Overcook is actually 3D. But if I would imagine Overcooked in top-down 2D pixel art, it would be kind of similar like this. So
Yeah,
that was kind of inspiration, but I would really like to limit myself to this simple art style.
yeah, yeah. Um, Are you inspired by 3D as well? You ever plan on getting into 3D art or that?
Yeah, my I think previous to each IO Jam game was actually 3D, and this is my first 2D game. So I tried some Blender stuff and tried some like uh, 3D level editing, and those things were hard.
Yeah, yeah. You got time. This isn't your full-time job. I
hmm
say go at your own pace. Don't don't feel like you need to learn it all overnight. Um, I studied art, and when I was in art school, I crammed 10 years worth of practice into 3 years. And um, I loved it at the time, but it made me feel like learning anything else was going to be exhausting. But then when I learned programming, I took it really slowly and realized that that's actually a healthier way to move. You don't have to
Yeah,
make
man.
everything happen all at once. Um,
hmm
so, um, yeah, how many games? Is this your first game or, uh,
Like, this is my third game on public,
yeah.
and much more in my dump pile.
Oh, cool. Cool. Um, is this your only game listed on itch or do you have more on itch?
There's two more on Edge, which is public, and
Cool.
two are 3D.
Yeah. How do you like itch.io as a platform?
I think it's really interesting, and I really like your interview because I never really got the face of the other itch users.
Yeah, I know. I
So,
agree. Like I'm blown away by how interesting itch developers are and how humble and respectful they are. And I think it's really cool to take a look at that community. Like there's a face behind all these games. It's so awesome.
mhm.
Um,
I
so
think,
how did you
yeah.
originally find out about itch?
Uh, I watch a lot of game dev YouTubes and people like casually mentioning itch as, oh, just put something on itch. Oh, make a game jam game or something like that. Oh, game jam sounds cool, and I can post my game on itch.io for free, and people can play it. Oh, that sounds so cool. So I got immediately got into it and started sharing some of my works with itch,
Mhm.
and it was really fascinating because I didn't have to host any servers or do any pay Steam $100 for just
Yeah,
sharing my game for free. It was really cool. It kind of felt like Git for games, sort of.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I totally agree. It's such a cool thing. I met the creator of itch one time at
Mm-hmm.
a GDC event, Leaf. His name is and yeah, he's really cool. He's kind of exactly what you think. He's a guy that doesn't seem like he's interested in making any money with this or becoming some kind of tech superstar. I think he makes it because he wants to make a platform that supports people. So I appreciate him for doing that. And another reason he made itch was he wrote his own like coding language that he just wanted to build something with it, which is like that's cool. Um, so it looks like you're shooting this video. It looks like you're wearing like a down jacket and stuff like that. Are you in part of Korea that's like cold, snowing
Yeah,
right now?
yeah, it's kind of cold here.
Yeah,
I think it's, what degree is it outside? I think it's 0 or below sub-zero Celsius.
yeah. I haven't been, I mean, have you ever been to the Bay Area? I live in San Francisco, or I live right next to San Francisco. I lived there for a long time, but
I've
do
never
you?
been to San Francisco, but I've been to US,
Yeah,
Georgia, Athens when I was second grade elementary school.
cool.
San
Would you
Francisco.
recommend I go visit you in your area, or if I was going to go to Korea, what do you think I should do? Me as like a game developer who's interested in this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think Korea is like really nice to visit when the weather isn't bad.
Yeah,
I kind of forgot the name of the game. Was it like it was a cute friend game. Was it? Uh, it was a climbing game. The devs wasn't Korean, but they just came here Korea for their vacation, and they published as a Korean indie game. But no one in the team was actually Korean.
Huh.
I
That's
forgot the game's name. I feel bad.
yeah. Well, I mean that's interesting. Do you know why they do that? They wanted to kind of capitalize
Oh
on
yeah.
something.
Yeah, some of the devs there just came to Korea and said, "Oh, Korean working in Korean cafe or like shared workspace was kind of refreshing, and they got really a lot of productivity done there. So, oh, let's make a game here," and they just made a game here.
Yeah. Yeah, you know,
I
there's sometimes Korea might be really supportive of games and game studios that might offer like, you know, funding or grants or something like that. There's something behind the scenes that they help them out with. So yeah, that's cool. But you know, back to you. You know, it's 0 degrees outside. You and your
mhm.
wife, you're into video games, so you stay indoors. You're playing video games. You like cooking games. What are some of the other games that got you inspired?
For this game actually is Factorio. I haven't played ton Factorio, but
Well,
I'm
I mean,
yeah.
like you know, are you? What other video games are you into? Like, what are some of your other favorite ones that drive
Yeah,
you?
favorite ones. Uh, I think I put most of my time into Tropico. It's
Tropico.
like, yeah, uh, you're a dictator in Tropico. You're managing an island, and you get to put
Hmm.
roads and factories there, and make people work and make people like happy or not happy or whatever.
Yeah, like a
It was
civil
really fun.
engineering kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Um,
also I played a lot of Civilization too much, I think.
oh, cool. Yeah, that like so. It sounds to me like you gravitate towards like the city builder,
Mm-hmm.
world building kind of thing. You know, do you are you do you like dexterity based games? You know, like
I
fast
think
moving.
the fastest game I think I've played is maybe the more dexterity game I played was Hades 1. I didn't play Hades 2 and the Hollow Knight, but yeah, I really like those two, but once I get to the finish line, I don't think I go back and replay it as much. I think whereas the simulation kind of game doesn't have actually an end, so you can just go sandboxy, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Um, if you know, with super fast food, like if it's successful, um, you know, is do you have super fast food too, like taking it to the next level? Any ideas there, or do you have like a dream game or anything like that? You know, if all goes well, like your dream project for the future.
Ah, a dream game is such a like difficult to say thing because dreams can change a lot, I think. Yeah. So I do actually have plan for making this much better game. So I'm currently working with Boris from France, who is a 2D artist. He's working on some the assets for the cooking game and trying to make this look more appealing to broader audience. And I'm currently working on more content for the game. Currently, the game on Edge is about 30 minutes to maximum 1 hour for a
Hmm.
player. I really want to make it replayable as much as I can.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, a good solid game loop in there. Have you play tested it with many people? You watch people play it?
I think I've seen around 10 people play my game, with some of them uh, I was right next to them, and some of them just sent me their playtest videos. So
Hmm.
I did got a lot of good feedback. So
Is there so when
they
you're
really helped
seeing?
me.
Oh yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So when you're seeing them play it, Is there anything you want to tell the audience about how to play the game? You know, anything that you want the audience to know? If after this video people pull up the game, is there any like confusing parts that you want to explain to them about the game that they might get stuck?
Yeah, it's funny, but people never read the in-game guide in this
Yeah,
game. There
yeah,
is an in-game guide here.
exactly.
But every playtester is like, oh, how do I do this? How do I do this? I never figure out this. Oh, there's a guide there telling you how to do that, and you can open it.
Yeah, I know. It's a dilemma, you know. Like you give instructions, or even you make a tutorial, and then people don't even
Hmm.
want to do the tutorial. So
People hate tutorial.
yeah, yeah. So, you know, all game developers are looking at this challenge of like, well, how do we make the tutorial as part of the game? You know,
Hmm.
and it's, I don't know if there's any like real solid solution yet.
Yeah,
But
one playtester played it after I implemented basic version of the tutorial, and he really hated it. So, oh,
mm,
why are you telling me to do this and not actually letting me do this? So,
mm,
I tried to cut down the text amount of the
mhm.
tutorial and really researched how other games like make tutorial as not as bad, I guess.
Yeah, and you know, do you make your tutorial skippable and you just go, okay, if you want to do it, or do you want to force them to do the tutorial because it's very important?
Uh, I want to make them to able to not even do the tutorial. Then not I want them to not even realize it's a tutorial, but I don't think it works it like that yet for the game. So there's a about 1 minute or 30-second tutorial currently
Yeah.
forced
Hmm.
if you start it in the first time. Maybe in the second time it doesn't come up.
Hmm. Hmm. Um, and you'd call this game like it's currently playable, right?
Hmm.
And but would you call it like early access? Like you're going to be fully updating it, um, like, and then is
I call
your
it a public prototype of the core game mechanics. So you can make food, chop it, you can do part of automation, but it's hard to call it any early access stage. It's not even a demo, I think. It's
yeah,
very early prototype.
yeah. Like you might take what you learned from this, totally start a new
Hmm.
project with what you've learned. Um, if things grow this way, will you bring it over to Steam ultimately, or do you want to stay on itch? Like, you know, do you even have any
Ah,
interest to go in that path?
uh, I do want to make Steam games someday,
Mhm.
but I really like I even if I make this a Steam game, I would definitely put this prototype public, keep the prototype public and let people just check it out. Oh, this is the prototype of this Steam game, I guess.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
looks really ugly. Making fun of it, I guess.
Nah, man. I mean, the people find stuff like this charming. You know, especially if the game gets really big, they look back on those early versions and they go, "Oh, that looked cool." You know, because the game was good. It had good mechanics and all that stuff. Um, so I think we could move into like kind of some closing stuff here.
Hmm.
If there's anything else that you want to share with the audience, you know,
Yeah,
any place they want to go or whatnot.
I don't have anything like or something to like for the viewers to go, but I think I kind of like touch a little bit of like board game or TRPG if you are into things like that. I play a lot of board games or TRPGs.
Sure, sure. Is there a particular board game you want to talk about?
Um, I don't know. I just kind of wish. Do you play a lot of board games? I did play a lot of board games like Agricola or Glassroad, which is like also simulating managing factory kind of game, making your economy there. Um,
Yeah, you know, I let's see.
Hmm.
I've definitely played a couple rounds of like Settlers of Catan,
Hmm.
and I've probably played um, Monopoly or something. I play not necessarily bored, but I really like things like Cards Against Humanity.
Mm.
Just pretty basic and wacky stuff. But I'm definitely not a huge board game. I and And if you want to, and I don't know what you think of Dungeons and Dragons,
I
if
really
that
like it.
qualifies it. Yeah, yeah. It's like my friends love Dungeons and Dragons. They got a Dungeons and Dragons nights, where they play it for hours, and I think I'd probably love it. I just between all the games I already play, the making games on my own. Um, if there's anything else like that if I'm gonna do something else that I know I'm gonna love, I try to make sure that it's like something physical so I get exercise. Otherwise I would just like sit at home probably playing Dungeons and Dragons and video games and all that stuff. So yeah, I find I think board games are awesome, but I'm definitely I don't think I have as much knowledge on them as you do.
I think I really wanted to mention this because a lot of games I have like really tactile board game inspiration. Like Slay the Spire obviously had card games inspiration like Dominions, and
Hmm.
there's a lot of cool new games upcoming with dice mechanics in the
Yeah,
game,
yeah,
which also has roots in board games. And obviously, like D&D goes to like those Baldur's Gate kind of like franchise.
yeah, yeah.
And also, if you are actually starting out game development and want to quickly make something other people can play, I think board
Mhm.
games or RPG session is good way to like making good experience for your friends and families. Just
Yeah,
wanted to make that out there.
yeah, no, that's great advice. I think people want to make a video game based on
Mhm.
other video games, or they want to be a superstar and make you know a the next hit dexterity based game controller. When in reality, starting with your basic board game and understand games and game mechanics with before you even touch a computer or anything
Mhm.
would be really solid advice. Yeah, I totally agree there. Even though I didn't do enough of that, but I'll probably uh, need to go back in and play my share of board games to dive into some, especially. I mentioned another when I was talking to someone else recently. Like I've never built a sophisticated inventory system in any of my games. I haven't really gotten deep into uh, these sophisticated data based systems. My games have been pretty much like I said, dexterity and adventure. But yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Anything else you want to share before we wrap this up?
I don't know. Have fun, everybody. Just making stuff, playing stuff, watching at Nathan's awesome video interviews.
Okay, great. I'm gonna put a link to your itch. You can play the
Mhm.
demo. It's gonna be down below this video. And this has been an awesome talk with Hyun from Korea. Thanks, everyone.